This is a severe weather alert.
All right, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Vanderburgh County now. That's going to go until 5:45. You probably hear the sirens out there. We're looking at the sky overhead, just turning a dark blue or blackish color. And this is all part of a system that is moving into the tri-state now. This is what it looks like with that heaviest band of showers and thunderstorms now over central Posey County. Of course, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in Posey County in effect until 5:15. A lot of these storms even showing some rotation, which means that they could be producing some damaging winds at the surface. Now, I've just sort of centered in on this one portion of the storm over central Posey County out around Oliver. This is going to move to the northeast at about 40 to 45 miles per hour, and that's going to affect Cynthiana, Owensville, Fort Branch, Princeton, and Patoka between now and 5:03. The important thing to note here is these storms are kind of moving like this. So even though the line is moving to the southeast at about 40 to 45, the storms themselves may be moving actually more to the northeast. So it'll kind of give a glancing blow there. And you also see that the lead edge now of the storm here over Posey County has begun to bulge out a little bit. Of course, we really watch that very carefully because that's a good sign that strong to damaging winds are possible within the storm as it moves in. Now, this particular part of the storm is in the northern section, or actually the central section of Posey County, from near Caborn to all the way over to Zion, Lippy, up into Parker Settlement, Caborn. And this will continue to move east at 35 to 40 miles per hour. If you're in this area, you could experience some large hail and damaging winds as the storm moves in. We are also under a tornado watch, and that will go until 8 o'clock tonight. And any of these storms has the potential of producing a brief tornado. We've not seen that so far today. Of course, you see the lightning strikes back there. A lot of lightning and electricity with these storms, so there's some energy to work with here. Let's do another track on the storm, this time showing where it will head across Vanderburgh County now as it moves out of rural Posey County. Again, with that movement to the east at about 35 to 45 miles per hour. That's going to push it right across Vanderburgh County at just about rush hour as people are heading home from work and school and whatnot. The lead edge of the storm, that's what I'm tracking now, is reaching Parker Settlement here at about 4:50 or in about 7 minutes. And then we'll be into Casson and Highland, which are on the northwest side of Evansville, between 4:55 and 4:58. And eventually we'll be reaching downtown Evansville and then Newburgh and the east side there between 5 and 5:30. So this storm is very potent. We've had a number of hail reports and damage reports. I'm going to talk to Chad Seawich here about those in a moment. Just to recap now, there's our Posey County warning until 5:15, and Gibson goes until 5. Vanderburgh County will pop up here in just a couple of moments. We do want to remind you that if you are in Vanderburgh County now, you should be moving away from windows and into a basement or small interior room until the storms have passed. Our storm predictor shows most of it now to the south of the Ohio River by about 6:30 to 6:45, and of course then it will be affecting the western Kentucky counties here through the evening hours. Again, a big line of storms moving in. Chad, what's the latest from our spotters this afternoon?
We're still getting a lot of hail reports out there, the heavy rains, and also the lightning is starting to pick up. I did get 2 calls now about some possible, again, this is very preliminary, possible rotation on the west side of Vanderburgh County with some low-level clouds that look like they're rotating. Sometimes those can be mistaken for the scud clouds that just kind of drop below the actual cloud deck can be mistaken for rotation. But certainly that's something to bear in mind if you are on the west side of Vanderburgh County. There is the possibility that we could have the formation of a funnel out there. Again, we have not had any confirmation of that by any officials, but certainly I've had at least, I believe it was 2 calls now at this point for that, so beware of that. Also did get an 1.5 inch hail diameter hail rather in Spencer County in Santa Claus about 20 minutes ago. Lots of dime to nickel size hail has just been reported in Crossville from a viewer, and also quarter size hail in St. Meinrad. And again, we're mainly getting these hail reports, but certainly as Jeff has been mentioning, we are under that tornado watch, so a severe thunderstorm can become a tornado warning very quickly, so that's something to bear in mind with these warnings that are issued right now.
Okay, thanks, Chad. I know we have more spotter reports coming in there, so I'll let you get to those. Looking back to the west, we have had a few folks reporting some low-hanging or rotating clouds. We'll continue to watch that, of course, with our weather cameras, which are strategically located around town. We can see what's going on. We have a couple of other things we need to look at, too. I showed you the storm predictor a moment ago with these storms moving into Owensboro and western Kentucky between about 6 and 7 o'clock this evening. So please, if you're in western Kentucky, you've kind of been on the sidelines most of the day, but soon these storms will be affecting your area. So that's something that we need to be mindful of. This is X-Vision. Now you can see those storms just neatly lined up to the south of Interstate 64 at the moment. And one of the things we've been especially interested in today is how tall the storms have gotten, how vertically developed they are, because the taller they get, generally speaking, they get into that colder air, and that helps them to produce some hail. As I move the X-Vision scan back and forth, you can see one very strong cell. In fact, this is the one that Chad was talking about a moment ago that may have some rotation at the bottom of it. You see the rotation aloft. And the significance here is that if we do have rotation in a storm, it can produce damaging winds at the surface. Sometimes it can spawn a tornado. It can also aid in hail development. All this would be affecting the northern portion of Posey and Vanderburgh counties out by Parker Settlement and near St. Joe and perhaps even St. Wendell in the northern portions of the counties. Let's check our wind scope here just to see if we have any rotating winds at the surface. And again, this tool is designed to look inside the storms and determine which direction the wind is blowing. And as I pass the wind scope through northern Posey County, what I'm looking for is areas where we have very strong winds blowing to and away from the radar. That would be a bright red and bright green together. And at the moment, we're not seeing any of that at the surface, but we'll continue to monitor that, especially this developing storm over Posey County, because of the reports that we've had from spotters. Here's the live radar view again with those storms now bearing down on the Evansville and Mount Vernon areas. And the warnings now on the screen, including a Vanderburgh County severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:30. That's our latest severe thunderstorm warning at this time. Of course, we will have more warnings inevitably for Warwick and probably Henderson and Davis counties between now and 6 o'clock. We're going to turn it back to Oprah. We'll begin the news here in just a few moments, and we'll have continuing coverage of these severe storms as they continue to move into the tri-state at 14 News at 5.